What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out this is why the US Army chose the Sig Sauer over the Glock for its new handgun. We're going to check this out. We're going to find out some information. I am genuinely really interested in this. This is by US Defense News. If you want to watch the original video without me waffling over the top of it, you know where to go. Down in the description, first part of the description, you will see the link to the original video. Go over to their YouTube channel, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on this video because we are incredibly close to 500,000 subscribers, guys. We're very close, and we're going to have a party when it happens. We're going to drink a bunch of mead. We're going to play some video games. We're going to have some fun. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. We'll do it. We'll get there. I think that's it. Let's pull this up. Let's check this out, and let's figure out why the Sig is as impressive as what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be really good. I guess we're going to find out. Subtitles on.
In 2017, the U.S. Army announced that Sig Sauer won its XM17 modular handgun system competition. The handgun has been designated the M17 and M.
Well, let's have a look at this real quick. Looks very simple in a way, doesn't it? I've said this once. I'll say it again. I've said it so many times. How important versatility, adaptability, weapons are in the military, right? And so for this weapon to be chosen, it has to be future-proof. It has to be incredibly durable. It has to be incredibly versatile, and it has to be able to be used in incredibly different environments. So jungle warfare, where it's humid and wet and damp, to desert warfare, where it's dry and gritty, and you're going to get some of that grit in the weapon. Like, it has to be used all over the place, and this is why I'm intrigued in watching this video and want to know why this weapon particularly got the go-ahead.
M18 and adopted as the military's standard-issue sidearm in its full-size and compact configurations.
It's a nice-looking handgun.
Gets a contract worth up to $580 million on January 19th.
Wow.
Beating out Glock Incorporated, FN America, and Beretta USA, the makers of the M9 9mm service pistol at the time, and the competition for the Modular Handgun System, or MHS, program.
Must be a high competition for that. It must be a incredibly difficult competition to win that, if you think about who it's going up against. And again, it must be as good as what they're saying for it to win it.
The Army launched its long-awaited XM17 MHS competition in late August 2015 to replace its Cold War-era M9 9mm pistol.
So they're long due an upgrade.
One of the major goals of the effort was to adopt a pistol chambered for a more potent round than the current 9mm. The U.S. military replaced the .45 caliber 1911 pistol with the M9 in 1985 and began using the 9mm NATO round then. Sig touts the P320 model product as modular and adaptable, with interchangeable grips, multiple sizes, and calibers that can be converted between 9mm, 357 SIG, and 40 S&W.
Again, adaptability right there. It can change between different calibers, which is very interesting. It also is a very nice looking handgun, isn't it? Like, it's a really sleek, it looks very simple, which is always incredibly, beneficial to the military. Keep it simple. There's a lot of simple people in the military, so you got to keep it simple. Do you know what I mean? But it looks like a generally good-looking weapon. And so far, the fact that you can change caliber in it is already a big green flag, in my opinion. So let's see what else it's got.
Calibers to pistol size to the grip fit best suited for the shooter. The P320 is the most adaptable pistol available today, the company says in promotional materials. Previously, the Army down-selected two finalists for the competition, Sig and Glock, which had submitted their Glock 17 and Glock 19 models for consideration.
So was it the Glock? They said that one of them was the prior Cold War handgun. I mean, Glock is a good weapon. Glocks are a really good weapon, aren't they? So, I don't know, like, that's some hard competition right there.
And the size of the contract, Glock is widely expected to protest the decision.
Interesting.
Randy Collins, communications manager for Glock, said at the time that she had not been briefed on the contract award or wished the winners well. Glock, which had an entry that stayed into the final round of the U.S. Army's modular handgun system competition, was judged to be only a step behind Sig Sauer by the U.S. Army. That is a recent development. Since Glock entered the marketplace in 1982, handgun makers have been innovating in a desperate effort to catch Glock.
So I guess Sig did catch him. Is what it is.
Glock's pistols were at first attacked for being plastic guns. Some worried they weren't durable enough to hold up, and others feared airport metal detectors wouldn't pick them up. Both were unfounded worries. The Glock quickly became known as a pistol that didn't quit. It also uses a metal barrel and more to set off metal detectors. Glock's...
So this is why I'm guessing they're going to protest it, is because they've adapted for criticism that they've got. And so if they do adapt and they haven't been told what the criticism is, then yeah, they could turn around and say, well, we could adapt for that. But we'll see. I mean, if they've already chosen, they've chosen at the end of the day, aren't they?
Still commands a lot of user loyalty and contracts with police departments. However, this selection by the U.S. Army of the SIG P320 will likely mean more police departments will give it a look, and many more American gun owners will as well.
Yep.
Any gun that can pass the rigorous tests from the U.S. Army to win the top spot is a well-vetted firearm.
His fire position there wasn't very good. Wasn't very good, was it?
P320 also represents a few leaps forward in pistol design.
How many rounds can that hold? Is that an extended mag? Or is that naturally what the mag looks like for it? Go back a little bit there. Is that that must be an extended mag. Interesting. Or is that the actual mag that comes with the weapon? Surely not. Not sticking out like that. Surely not. Although it's not sticking out too far, it would be a good grip to be able to pull it out. But you don't need to pull them out. They just slip out as soon as you friggin' press the button. So, huh.
The P320 is a polymer, striker-fired pistol that SIG first started selling in 2014. The P320 is the first modular pistol that someone can easily modify with interchangeable grip modules. Its caliber can even be changed. All pistols made for the U.S. military will be configurable to receive silencers and include both standard and extended capacity magazines.
Okay, so yeah, it can have both magazines then, which is really good. I mean, yeah, you can fit a silencer on it. I as someone who is has general knowledge on weapons, right? Like, I mean, I don't see anything particular that's a red flag with this weapon. Like, not a thing. A little bit of a Picatinny rail on the bottom as well there, which is interesting. But I don't see anything that would be a no-go so far. Like, I obviously don't have any bias on the weapons. We shot SIGs in the Royal Marines. So
these pistols will be made at Sig Sauer's facilities in New Hampshire. John Dorsey, vice president of Glock Incorporated, said that Glock maintains that the Army's selection of Sig Sauer was based on incomplete testing, and that Sig Sauer's bid was $102 million lower than Glock's.
Interesting. I mean, they're definitely going to be sour, because if you think about how much money they've put into the manufacturer of this handgun to get the contract, it's probably in the hundreds of millions, easily in the hundreds of millions, it might even be in the billions. And so they're probably going to be sour, and they're going to be fighting it for a long time until it gets set in stone. Until weapons get bought by the military, they're probably going to be fighting it.
This is not about Glock. This is not about SIG, and it's not about the U.S. Army. Dorsey, a retired Marine, told Military.com, it's about those that are on the ground in harm's way.
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
It comes down to the importance of a pistol, which doesn't sound like much unless you realize that if you pull a pistol in combat, you are in deep.
It's true, yeah. If you really need your pistol, then you're already in trouble. And so that pistol needs to be incredibly effective, doesn't it? Like, you're close at that point. You're very close.
Dorsey maintains that the Army selected Sig Sauer as the winner of the MHS competition without conducting the heavy endurance testing common in military and federal small arms competitions. According to the GAO's findings on August 29, 2016, the Army established a competitive range consisting of the Glock 9mm one-gun proposal and the Sig Sauer 9mm two.
The Sig looks better than the Glock. Just out of pure vibes. The Sig looks better. I don't like the boxiness of the Glock. It's a very boxy kind of looking design, isn't it? Whereas this has, you know, it's got a little bit more grip to be able to cock the weapon. You know, it just, I don't know, it just has a better look to it, doesn't it? That has zero effect on what the US military are choosing for it. But as someone who is an outsider looking at it, it definitely looks better, the Sig.
Gun proposal. Dorsey argues that the GAO's competitive range description means both Glock's and Sig Sauer submissions are in fact pretty much the same. However, the GAO describes Sig Sauer 320 as having lower reliability than Glock 19 on page 11, footnote 13 of its findings.
Okay, so they're really going in deep and being like, look, it's shown that it's not as reliable as the Glock, so why are you giving that contract? Which I get. Like, that's a valid thing to say. It's got to be it's got to be 100% reliable. Like you said earlier, if you are pulling out a handgun, you are in it deep, big time. And for it to not be reliable, oh my God, like at that point, at life and death, you know what I mean? It has to be incredibly durable, sorry.
Under the Factor 1 reliability evaluation, Sig Sauer's full-sized handgun had a higher stoppage rate than Glock's handgun, and there may have been other problems with the weapon's accuracy, GAO states. To Dorsey, that says it all.
But is it also cheaper to manufacture? That's another thing as well.
When you have stuff in the GAO report that says their stoppage rate is higher than ours, that's a problem, Dorsey said.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's definitely not wrong there.
According to GAO, Sig Sauer's $169.5 million bid outperformed Glock's $272.2 million bid, which made the Sig Sauer proposal the best value to the government. The Army's initial announcement of the contract award to Sig Sauer described the deal as worth up to $580 million, but the reason for the discrepancy needs to be clarified.
Yeah, so if they're going to go for the Sig, then they really need to be telling the rest of the competition, this is why it won. This is why it won. And if you want to win a contract in the future, you know, when the next time it gets iterated in 30, 40 years, these are the boxes that this one ticked. So you've got to at least tick them boxes. And then some, you know?
So one of the least important factors, as they said in the RFP, would be the price. That is what became the most important factor.
Doesn't surprise me there at all. So it should be the least important factor, but it became the most important factor. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Dorsey said. So let's think about that for a minute. You are going to go forward with making that decision now without completing the test on the two candidate systems that are in the competitive range? Does that make sense if it's your son or daughter sitting in that foxhole somewhere? Glock also argued that the Army's testing only went up to 12,500 rounds, when the service life of the selected pistol is specified to be 25,000 rounds, according to Glock's legal argument to GAO.
So this is from what I'm hearing, this is what's happened, right? They found out that the Sig is cheaper to manufacture. And it's pretty much as good as the Glock. And therefore they've just gone with the Sig. And Glock have turned around and said, whoa. We get that the Glock is a little bit more expensive, but you need to do the rest of the testing. And if the Glock wins the majority of the testing, you've got to go with that because it's more important than the price. And I totally understand their argument. I totally get that, to be fair. People on the ground who are using handguns need to have the best of the best. They really do. And for them to cut that reliability to save a penny, it's not a good look. Not a good look at all.
We are not asking them to overturn SIG, Dorsey said. All we ask is for them to continue to test so that the Army can be ensured that it has the best material solution for its soldiers.
Yeah.
Make it fair, full, and open. Transparent, and let's see where the chips fall. Fundamentally, Glock is going to continue to do what we always do. It's never over for us. It's always on those that go into harm's way. And as long as they are in harm's way, we will continue to knock on doors and offer the best material solution to the handgun requirement because, in my heart, I believe we do have the best material solution.
There you go. I mean, he's going to say that anyway, but it would be interesting to...
The U.S. Army is officially switching.
It would be very, very interesting to actually get, like, a legit, like, sheet up that says all the different testings and the and the columns for each weapon, so you can be like, okay, this is better in this part, this is better in this part, blah 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 blah, all the way down. And if it's got, you know, and it has to have priorities, right? In durability, reliability is got to be up there, and price does has to be at the bottom. Like the price, you know, as long as they're all within the same range, like the price shouldn't be that much of a factor. But you know what it's like these days? Like if something is a little bit cheaper, they'll take the cuts for cheaper stuff. They'll do it. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Great video by US Defense News. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check that out. Very, very interesting video. Yeah, I am definitely on the side that the SIG looks better. But going off vibes alone is not what you got to do in the military. You got to go off more than just vibes. And so numbers are more important, and the statistics are more important when it comes to this. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We are so close to 500,000 subscribers, guys. Let's try and get it done before the end of April. Let's do it, and we'll have a party. Until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.